Hey, Will. Let's see, are you on film?
Hello?
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so what are we doing today? Are we changing oil?
Okay.
We're going to change oil in the Peterbilt. Yep, in the 379 Peterbilt. It's been a while. I can't remember when. I'm pretty sure I've got enough miles on it that it needs to be done. I got a Fleetguard filter there. There's a lot of people that are like, Caterpillar. Fleetguard filters are just fine. Matter of fact, I don't have a problem with Fleetguard filters. I don't have a problem with Caterpillar filters. When I bought them, the guy's like, you want Fleetguard or Caterpillar? I said, which one's the best? He said, we use a lot of Fleetguard. I was like, okay. I mean, everybody needs to use the OEM, original manufacturer's deal there, but me? Oh man, are you kidding? Here it comes. Look at that. All the lifeblood just drained out of it. Okay. Alright, so there it is. Just let her run. Let her run. Yep. I'm going to pop that filter off of there in a little bit. I want this to just drain out. A good thing to do if you walk away from a truck, tractor, or car, or whatever you're doing, is actually just pull the keys out and throw them on the floor. That way, people know that you really shouldn't be starting the tractor up, or truck up, or whatever it is up. And yeah, so the reason I'm doing this is because I have to go pick up equipment in North Carolina. I have to go pick up equipment in North Carolina. Steve is in Alaska, and I'm sure he'll be back to pick up some of my equipment, but I need to get at least a tractor and a baler home, and that just has to happen. So 2 tractors and a baler home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the 7530 to a baler, and I'm going to drag that home, and then I'm going to hook the 8530 to the stack wagon that the 7530 pulled, and I'm going to drag that home. So I got 2 trips I got to make down there. And oh Lord, so I have to do that. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want to be driving back and forth. It's a pain in the ass, but I got to do it because it's just the way the world works. And I'm not thrilled, but I have to do it. It's just my plight in life. Steve is in Alaska. He's in Alaska. What's he doing in Alaska? Not really sure, but I think he's taking a truck or lumber or something to Alaska. But yeah, so that's what the deal is. And I've gone over the truck. I did find an issue here the other day that had to be addressed, and it was this guy right here. There's a bushing in here, and it was bad, and it was woggling around in there. I put new bolts in and a new U-bolt and all that other lovely stuff because it completely broke that housing out of there. So I did that yesterday. Lights are good. The mud flaps are okay. Fenders are good. New airbags on the cab. They were bad. And that's holding air. Since yesterday at about 3 o'clock, I parked this truck in here. And today the air is still at, well, let's see. What is that air at? The air is still holding, well, I can't tell you. I think it was at about 100 pounds yet this morning. Well, we don't have to start the truck up, but we'll break our own rules. We're going to put the key in there. Didn't I just say don't do this? But for entertainment purposes, where's my air? Come on, bitch. It isn't going to come up? Why won't that come up? Prick. Huh. Well, that's the air gauge right there, right? No. There's the air gauge. What is that? Yeah, that's applied pressure. 60, 80, 90. It's at 90 pounds right there. I was looking at the wrong gauge. It's at 90 pounds, and I didn't think I had to turn on the key because I didn't. It's right there. 90 pounds. So at 90 pounds, in probably, I don't know, 16 hours, from 120. That's not too bad of a drop. I'm sure there's a leak here and there someplace, but with my hearing aids, I can't hear very well. And that's going to drip and drain for quite some time. So we're just going to leave it at that as long as William doesn't get caught in the drain plug. This camera does not focus very quickly. I cut his hair. I did a horrible job, but he's a handsome young man no matter what. But I cut his hair this morning, and my wife's like, hey, I want him to be shorter here. Well, I made a line that stopped, and I should have just feathered it up, but I didn't. Because I am not a hairstylist. I'm a farmer. That's what I told her. And she was like, huh? Really? I thought you could do it. I was like, I can. I did. I just didn't do a great job. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull that filter off and shut up. How's that sound? Okay. So I'm going to record, and I'm going to kind of talk about a couple of things here as I'm spinning this filter on. There's a big, I've heard controversies about pre-filling filters. Don't do it. Others say do it. I don't know if it's a controversy or not. Just one of those things that you hear. I pre-fill my engine oil filters and my fuel filters. I do it. Dry starts are the killer of engines, if you didn't know. The killer of engines. And to rebuild this engine, if I was to do it, an in-frame would probably be somewhere around 20,000 bucks. Out of frame, you know, cooked and cleaned and reassembled, probably in the $30,000-$35,000 range. That's just what it is. I'd rather not do that, but we did. So I pre-filled my filters so I don't have a dry start, or as little of a dry start as possible. But that's it. That's just the way it is. And I think for the most part, we're pretty well lubricated from, you know, this thing running yesterday. So how dry is it going to be? They pump pretty quickly, and this has wicked oil pressure. This motor is like, it's like an 80 PSI oil pressure motor. I don't know why. It's a high pressure one. I always felt that low pressure, high flow was the better way to go. Oh, plug looks good. Okay, that's that. So I've got my plug in. I'm going to leave that thing there, the oil pan there. I'll take that out of there before I move the truck. But what I got to do is I got to fill it with fresh oil. So I use Schaefer's 1540 synthetic blend. I've used Schaefer's now for several years. I like it. I don't know why anybody wouldn't like it. Well, there's always somebody that would complain about their... What's that? What? You got? Where's your juice? You don't have juice. Where's your... William doesn't like to eat too well, and he just eats when he feels hungry, and his mother thinks that... I think he eats just fine. My theory is if the kid is pooping, he's eating. Well, in her mind, he's not eating enough, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, everybody uses different oil. I used Rotella for years, and Rotella 1540. I used Valvoline Blue 540. That was a synthetic blend, I believe, or a full synthetic. I used T6 Rotella synthetic. And when I went to Schaefer's, my fuel mileage went up. Everything was better. So fuel mileage went up, and you know, you're just happy when your fuel mileage goes up, right? I'm happy when my fuel mileage goes up because that's very expensive to be buying fuel right now. Well, anytime it's expensive to be buying fuel. So when I went to Schaefer's, I just like, you know what, I'm going to continue with Schaefer's, and that's it. And that's what I use. So I buy them 3 drums at a time, Schaefer's. I'll show you what it is. I'll show you this one over here. These are still full because they're brand new. This is 700 Sin Shield Durability Advantage Engine Oil SAE 1540. It is a blend, batch number 1402. It is the blend, synthetic blend. Why not a full synthetic? Well, I don't know. Money-wise, I guess it doesn't make a difference. You know, it's cheaper to buy this synthetic blend, and it just works for me. How's that sound? So yeah, so that's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and get some oil, and then I'm going to start filling that. And I have a story for you. So hold on here and give me a minute, and I'll come back to you with that story. It's low areas. It'll scrape there. But I wanted to show the corn. Haven't quite gotten to tasseling yet. But as you can see, what I was talking about with those slight little waves, maybe you can see it. It's wet out there. It's really wet out there. And the other thing is that, ooh, that's slippery. You be careful there, Will. The other thing that is going on now that didn't ever happen last year is this corn is actually putting on brace roots. Different variety than last year, but it is doing what I want it to do, and that is to put on the brace roots. We're at 7 or 8 feet. We have some late emerging seed that came up, and it is going to get shaded out. Ain't going to amount to anything at all. There's actually quite a bit of that on these corners, because when I planted it, it was extraordinarily dry. Now, if you look at, and I'm going to talk about corn here for a few minutes. William, are you okay? Okay, you can come in. Anyway, if you look down these rows here, you can see it's actually not wet. This corn is really raging pretty good. And you can see the same thing as last year. We're starting to get the roots that are coming up through. Just looking for nutrients. It's exactly what it's doing. It is sucking up nutrients, and you can see that there's some, well, I'm going to get close to it. There is some, see that white stuff there? That is potassium. There's plenty of potassium here. And you can see the roots are coming up all over, and the brace roots are going down and doing their job. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But if you look down this corn, you don't see that the lower leaves are yellowing. They're dying back a little bit. That's natural from the lack of sunlight. But yeah, for the most part.
Daddy.
Where are you at? Are you behind me?
Okay.
Yeah, you are behind me. So you can see that the leaves are all the way to the bottom here still, and the color of the corn is gorgeous. What do you think? You think the color of the corn's good?
Okay.
Okay, that's right. That's your favorite word, right? Okay. You take after Daddy? Okay. So when it does decide to tassel, as I call it, tasseling. Mr. William, I did a horrible haircut job on him, but he's pretty cool. That stuff is tough. Don't get lost in the cornfield, Will. But yeah, we're at 7 feet here. This is a 106-day variety here. Come on out. Come on, William. This is actually in a compacted area. If you can look along the edge here, how nice and even it is, and nice. It is thicker here on the corners because of the way it drives. So as that corn planter swings out, if you go way out there on 12 rows in, they're going to be 5.5 inches. There's a skip there. But on this side, because the drive picked up on the faster side, it actually made the seeds go closer and closer together. So I don't know what the ears on this outside are going to look like, but for the most part, I think it looks pretty good. Well, I'm at 37,700 plant population. I think I've said this in the past. The reason I went that high is because we had a lot of double ears on the last year's variety, which meant that the nutrition was there and it could have been planted thicker. So I just upped it about 2,200 plants to the acre more, which really doesn't amount to a hell of a lot, but it could be a ½ pound per plant each acre, ½ pound per plant, ½ a pound per plant more equals a little over 1,000 pounds more of corn per acre, which obviously equals bushels. So we should be in that, 1,000 bushels is 40 some bushels to the acre. 1,000 pounds, 40 some bushels to the acre. Yeah, 40? Yeah, 1,000 pounds, 40 some odd bushels. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. You can do the math. I'm not that brilliant today. But yeah, so that's the plan. Now here's a straight run, and you can see the spacing is is more in line with the 5 1/4 inches. And of course there's a skip and a double there, which, you know, hey, my 40 some odd year old corn planter that only cost me a total of about $9,000 to buy it, repair it, and run it for 2 years. That's not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. Very minimal parts. This coming year I will do some improvements to it again, but oh yeah, so I just have to go see if I can track down some lights. I thought I had them, but I don't know why. I cannot find them. Normally I have them right there, but they're not there. I'm a little annoyed. I'm just a little bit annoyed. So, but whatever. So there's a corn update for you. Like I said, I've lost my cameras. Me and William will walk down here to the next field, and you'll get a sense of the uniform. And well, actually this is a 106-day variety. This is a 100-day variety, and I'm almost certain I can see a couple of tassels popping up through. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I promised you all a story. So yesterday, I probably shouldn't tell you this because I don't know if this person watches my videos or not, but I guess I don't really care because I haven't seen or talked to this person in 39 years. I'm 49, by the way. 39 years. 39 or 38 years. 38 or 39 years. Anyway, so here's the deal. My birthday was on the 5th of July. And then on the 6th of July, my 3rd grade girlfriend, you heard me right, my 3rd grade girlfriend, her birthday was the 6th of July. And, you know, she was a pretty girl back in the day. Still, I imagine she's still a pretty girl. I haven't seen her. You know, it doesn't matter. But for some weird-ass reason, the phone rang on the 6th of July. The 7th of July. I was in North Carolina. And I saw the name and I thought, huh, that's kind of weird. Don't want to talk to this person, really, but okay. I just thought it was strange. So, yesterday, the number pops up again, and it's ringing, and it's through Facebook Messenger, so I'm like, well, I've never done this before. So I accepted the call, and sure enough, it was my 3rd grade girlfriend. And she was kind of all over the place, like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm doing okay. I mean, is this really you? You know, like the girl that I had a crush on in 3rd grade, or we held hands in 3rd grade. That was it. Anyway, so the longer the conversation went, you know, she was like, oh, so are you happy in your life? I'm like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I'm actually quite happy with, you know, where I'm at, where I'm going, where I've been, you know, whatever. And it's cool, you know, I'm having a great time in my life. I've got my little boy. I've had 2 families now. I'm raising my 2nd family and enjoying the hell out of this thing. Being dad again for the first time in like 18, 19 years, and it's been fun. So the longer the conversation goes on, the worse it gets. I mean, she just starts getting like she's drinking. Like she's either high or drunk. And as the conversation goes on, she starts bawling. Like I've talked to this person my whole entire life, not 39 years ago. Yeah, so she starts bawling, carrying on, you know, about her boyfriends and how she's been married twice, and then she kind of levels off, and then she's talking normal again, not crying anymore, and then it's like, oh, okay, what's going on here? So anyways, in the end, after talking to her for about 15 minutes, she asked about my wife, and I was like, oh no, my wife, I'll tell you how I met her, just, you know, we've got to catch up on the other stuff before we do that. And she's like, no, what's going on with your wife? And I was like, well, you know, she's a great girl, I love her, she's hardworking, and, you know, we're raising William together, and then she says, well, let me be honest, if you were to date me, would you treat me well? I said, well, I wouldn't date you because I'm married. And she said, well, you need to figure that out. I was like, figure out what? You know, I'm married to my wife. I'm not going to date you.
I haven't seen you in 39 years. She said, well, I'm an honest person. You know I'm an honest person. I would never lie to you. I was like, well, from what I can remember of you in 1981, 82. It was 1982. I was in fourth grade, third and fourth grade. It was my fourth grade girlfriend. Whatever. I only had one girlfriend back then, and it was her. So it was just, it deteriorated. She's like, well, if you're going to date me, if you were to date me, but if you're going to date me, you need to figure out, your wife. I was like, I'm not going to date you. I'll take my wife out on a date and enjoy it because I'm married to her and I love her. And she hung up on me. I thought, well, there you go. That's the end of that. It could be another 39 years before I talk to her again. And I'd be okay with that. And I tell Teresa, and she's like, she's going to call you back again. I says, yeah, hopefully she's not drunk. She says, well, are you going to answer? I said, probably not. And sure enough, today the phone rings, just a little quick bleep, bleep, and I didn't answer, and it was her, and I just have no desire to talk to her anymore. So that's my story. 39 years of not seeing someone, and it was 1982, and she calls me and wants to know how I would treat her when I'm dating her, which I'm not dating her. So there's the story.